No.
That is what I'm saying. But what kind of pressure do you feel if I raise this issue that for God's sake, please control the agencies for giving contradictory leaks?
So why did you wait so long before you demanded clarity on this issue from the Home Ministry? If the confusion...
Because the sources started quoting only after Ishrat Jahan's case came up recently. I'm not questioning Mr. Pillai's statement.
No. I submit...
Be fair to me. Have I questioned Mr. Pillai's statement?
You have not.
Then?
But the fact is something completely and wholly different. The question is this. I'm coming to my fundamental point now.
Your two questions you've been proved wrong.
No, I have not.
Third.
On both, the answers have been unconvincing.
No, it may be unconvincing. Let the people of the people who are seeing this be convinced that I have not. You level charge against me that I am tutoring Home Minister. I am not tutoring Home Minister. Second thing is that I am challenging the Mr. Pillai's statement. I am not challenging.
Then I also request all the people watching this interview to kindly consider the fact that when Digvijay Singh goes into Sushil Kumar Shinde's office, he's not just another common man. It's an important
exactly. And I had issues to discuss regarding Telangana, Andhra Pradesh issue, of which I am in charge in my party.
Yes.
Number two, I had tweeted the same very day morning that what is happening, 3 agencies under the Home Ministry are being quoted by the media on 3 contradictory issues. What is happening?
Now the fact of the matter is, and this is the third point, Mr.
Yes, go ahead.
Finally, neither you or I will determine, it's not a battle between you.
No. We are friends, of course.
My question to you is, right now you're not friendly with the media.
No, I'm friendly with the prosecutor.
The question is, the fact is, Mr. Digvijay Singh, 119-page report.
Yes.
On the interrogation. Allow me, please. Allow me.
Go ahead.
Please.
But you have to tell me what report?
Let me complete it. I'll tell you. A 119-page National Investigation Agency report on the interrogation with Headley that took place between the June 3rd and June 9th, 2010 was published in May 2011. So the report has been in the public domain, right? It made no mention of Ishrat Jahan. It was reported that the NIA dismissed reports claiming Headley had spoken to them about Ishrat as baseless. Therefore, this matter, it's established in the public domain. You agree with me? The matter is in the public domain about this NIA report, about Headley's statement. It's been in the public domain. The simple question of timing. The question is this. Why did you wait so long before you demanded clarity from the Home Minister? One, and the confusion regarding Headley's comment has been in the public domain. It is established from what I've said for 2.5 years. Why are you raking it up now?
Arnab,
unless there is political motive for it.
Arnab, you forget. 3 days after the interrogation of Mr. Headley, someone leaked to the press that Headley had mentioned Ishrat Jahan's module. Do you agree with me or not?
Did you question it then?
One second. Well, let me finish. Number 2. Again, the media report said, IB sources said that she had links with the terrorists.
Yes.
Okay. And then NIA report was quoted to say that Headley did not mention Ishrat Jahan.
Yes.
But the fact remains, when such contradictory reports are being put in the media, is it not responsibility of the Home Ministry to look into it and close this debate?
Why don't you don't trust the NIA also now?
I trust totally.
If you trust the NIA, then I'd like to quote what the NIA said in May 2011. My argument is that I've been hearing exactly what you've said. I follow Digvijay Singh extremely closely.
No, you don't follow me on the Twitter.
I follow you everywhere and I read your quotes on the Twitter. The NIA said, Mr. Digvijay Singh, aversion regarding May 2011, aversion regarding David Coleman Headley making statement on Ishrat Jahan is purely in the nature of hearsay. It does not have evidentiary value. Therefore, when Digvijay Singh walks into Sushil Kumar Shinde's office, discusses Ishrat Jahan with him among other issues, and comes out and makes a comment on it, he's raking up an issue which has already been settled in May 2011 by the NIA.
Let me again come back to you. I did not mention that whether Ishrat Jahan was a terrorist or not a terrorist. I was only saying the Home Ministry, please, for God's sake, this counter leaks which is happening in CBI, IB, NIA, that should be taken care of.
Isn't it astonishing that the Home Minister after that says we will look into it when the matter has been settled by the NIA? Isn't it strange we have a Home Minister who doesn't know what the NIA says? Shouldn't the Home Minister have said the matter has been settled 2 years back by the NIA?
Again, Arnav, why are you not talking about the IB? Why are you not talking about the CBI, which had also leaked?
Because the matter has been looked into by the NIA and
Exactly.
It's been settled. I thought
Exactly.
that's the last word.
After that, if you say that, if it was the last word, then why media has played it up?
The question, the media has been very strongly questioning the nature of the encounter. The media is not speaking here about whether Ishrat was a terrorist or not. To the contrary, the media, including Times Now, has been fundamentally saying the issue is that of a fake encounter.
Exactly.
The issue is not about whether she was a terrorist or not.
I'm very happy.
Mr. Digvijay Singh, who are raising that issue.
I'm very happy, Arnav, that you say it's a fake encounter.
Well, I said the media is raising the question of the manner in which it was a fake encounter, and of course the circumstances laid out in the report very clearly point out that it was a fake encounter. And Mr. Digvijay Singh, that is a matter on which the strongest questions have been asked by the media, but you're not answering my question. There are two issues. Which is that you're raising up the issue about David Coleman Headley's comment, which is a settled issue. In 2011, it has been settled by the NIA. I've just quoted the NIA.
Arnav, I congratulate you for being convinced on the NIA report, which I'm very happy to note that.
I'm quoting it.
But
should I not believe it?
No, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to know that. But unfortunately, there are other channels also who are quoting it.
Mr. Digvijay,
who are not quoting it.
Bottom line is, the media has quoted everything. It is the government which must get its act together. If the IB, central organization, NIA and the CBI are investigating a case and they don't seem to be speaking in one line, I'm very sorry, Mr. Digvijay Singh, it is the problem of your government, and you've been in power for more than 9 years. To pass it on to the media, I think you will admit, is inappropriate. I would like you to say that.
Arnav, you see, it's not only this case. I've got series of instances where, now for example, they in a interview in Banaras, in a sarcasm, I said Osama ji. The media highlighted that.
Why did you say Osama ji?
In a sarcasm. What I had said was...
Do you regret saying that?
Huh?
Do you regret saying that?
You see, the point is, when I said I congratulate the US army in eliminating one of the biggest terrorists in the world, I congratulate, listen to me. But I'm very surprised by the Pakistan Military Academy in Abbottabad, which is only 100 meters away, did not know that Osama ji is staying there and did not know about it. I think this is the issue.
Exactly, but
the whole media,
do you regret?
Media certainly said Osama ji, Osama ji, Osama ji.
Do you regret calling him Osama? Do you regret?
I will never have any respect for anyone who is accused in a crime.
I'm glad you've settled that issue. Digvijay Singh, bottom line is this. You are running your politics. So I've come to the core issue today.
I'm fighting ideology.
Yeah, you say you're fighting ideology, but the fact is you're fighting Modi. The fact is you're fighting Modi. You have made yourself the buffer between Rahul Gandhi and Narendra Modi. And my final question to you is this, because in this room a few months back I asked you that question.
Yes.
After I had interviewed Rajnath Singh.
Yes.
And he had said that the Congress party does not have the guts, himmat nahi hogi unki, this were his words, to put Rahul Gandhi in front. So Mr. Digvijay Singh, answer this clearly to me.
Yes.
How long will you be a buffer between Modi and Rahul? And if Modi is projected as the prime ministerial candidate, will Digvijay Singh be protecting Rahul Gandhi in a fight with Narendra Modi? Will you continue to be a buffer? Why do you need to be a buffer?
First of all, Mr. Rahul Gandhi does not need a buffer. He does not need any protection from anyone. He is a leader in his own right, who has got his own mind, who's got his own ideology, and who's got guts to face every eventuality. Number one. Number two, I have always said, in a parliamentary democracy, it is not the fight of the personalities, it is a fight of ideology.
You know,
it is a fight between programs and policies and the performance of two conflicting ideologies, and we shall do it.
Well, the people, voters may accuse the Congress party of ensuring that Rahul Gandhi is running away when Narendra Modi wants a direct one-on-one fight.
Well, if Narendra Modi wants to have a fight, why doesn't he have a fight with Digvijay Singh?
Are you the Prime Ministerial candidate of the Congress party?
One second. He has been a 3-time Chief Minister. I've been a 2-time Chief Minister. He's been General Secretary of the All India BJP. I've been a General Secretary. I'm still a General Secretary of the All India Congress Committee. First, take him on with
Why
me.
doesn't Rahul Gandhi take him
I'm
on?
prepared to have a debate with him.
Why doesn't
I challenge him to have a debate
Why
with me.
doesn't Rahul Gandhi ever come out?
You asked Rahul Gandhi, why do you ask me?
I'm told
but
you're fielding it.
I'm prepared to face Mr. Narendra Modi on any platform that he wants to.
Well, I will take this quote and hopefully we'll get a response from Mr. Modi.
You'll never get it.
Well, let's see, we might get it.
Okay, now
I might be wrong.
my best wishes and congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Digvijay Singh, for joining me on Frankly Speaking. Good talking.
Always a pleasure.
Good talking to you.
You can send in your suggestions and views on who you would like to see on Frankly Speaking with Arnab Goswami. Write to us at this handle